Okay, so here we are again in another video, and today I'm talking like this because there's people in my house, and I don't want to bother them. Yeah. So, what did I see today? Okay, so today I saw that we have this traveling with unit 1 here on the XY. I expected a continuation to the upside, as I said last week. After taking this traveling liquidity here, and seeing this week here, and this one, I expected this to be taken, okay? And then after seeing this clear break here and these movements to the upside, it was clearer, okay? So knowing that, let's see EU. Today I made two mistakes, okay? You know, some days you make mistakes that you don't know why you make, but you make them anyways. It was like I was so confident and like I had a lot of conviction that I traded out of timing in bad places without travel liquidity. So yeah, I'm going to explain it right now, okay? So after taking this high, which is not it's relevant because I think it was the high of the week, previous weekly high from 2 weeks ago. For me, this was relevant liquidity on each one, but the more relevant liquidity is here, so I expect this to be taken. Okay, seeing this movement, I can expect this being taken, but you can expect a reaction from well, somewhere. Okay. So I wanted to look for sales all day, but as you can see, the price went down all the way. Well, this was pretty clear to look for sales, as I explained yesterday. After seeing this move here, usually it's a reversal. And well, we took this clear relevant on each one here, perfectly taken, and then boom, so you can see to the downside. Okay, so no, here we don't have relevant liquidity really. As maybe we have some reaction, but this trend is so clear. Okay, so we have a lot of buyers here, and well, as you can see that liquidity is pretty well. The movement is pretty fast. Okay, so I was looking for sales all day, but no opportunity, and my mistake was here. Well, it was 1 p.m. here, and after seeing like these weeks here, this week here, and seeing a clear break to downside here without nothing to the left, and without a break of structure, I just expected a reaction from here, and this was my mistake. Okay, so I looked for a buy. It's even worse because I looked for a buy and I placed, and my first buy was like here. I had this movement, I placed break even, and I hit a break even, and then I entered again. Okay, so this was a mistake. Okay, I took a risky entry, I hit there, and then re-entered again out of timing. So my mistake, and well, and without confirmations. So my mistake. Okay, so yeah, this is pretty clear, and then movement to the downside to take this liquidity here, previous weekly low. Okay. Okay, excuse me. So well, let's see GU. Okay, GU more or less the same. Here we have revenue with H1 at previous weekly low. So yeah, I expected this to be taken. I expected this to be taken today, and this one. So both of them. Here we had clearer trades. Okay, so I wanted to sell here to take at least this low, but the thing here, well, had all this liquidity here, it took that, and then it took this previous daily low plus relevant liquidity in H1. So if it took that, I expected a reaction to continue with the sells. Yeah, so we had this reaction SMT, and then this movement here. I expected a mitigation at least, and that's why I didn't enter. Okay, and then as you can see here, we had a lot of liquidity, so this low was important. And I was at my work, I saw this break, but couldn't trade that, and we don't really have a good confirmation, so I don't think I would have traded that. And then it moved to downside to take all the liquidity. Okay, now USD JPY. Yeah, it's this one. USD JPY, more or less like the XY, more or less the same. Let me see. Well, yeah. The low was here, so we had this low here, and we had relevant liquidity here. Okay, relevant liquidity on H1, as I explained yesterday. So today we had this liquidity, and that was taken yesterday, and this liquidity, as you can see, we had a lot of liquidity here. It took that with a wick on H1. So in my head, I was expecting this to be taken and then a continuation to the upside, but yeah, it just went through, and we had a breakdown here. But now I think we could expect this being taken, all these highs, okay? At least previous weekly high for sure, or I think pretty clear, but I think all these highs. But maybe we go to the downside and we take some liquidity. As you can see, it reacted perfectly with the previous daily high, okay? So yeah. USD CHF, more or less the same. It took this low here, and we took this RAM liquidity here, and nothing else, I think. Yeah, I think nothing else. So here we had a clearer because we had this week on H1, this week we had this crown liquidity on H1 that took this low here. So here it was clearer. I saw this and I wanted to buy. I didn't like those weeks, so I expected a lower low, but never had it. And as you can see, it just held that, and it went all the way up. Fuck me, but it is what it is. I don't have confirmation, and after that I take bad trades, okay? Because I see a conviction trade but not confirmed. I'm not sure. Well, and here I thought about selling. Well, I was at my job, so I couldn't trade, but I looked at it and I saw this movement. It took all this liquidity here. Okay, so, and here maybe a continuation after this movement. Let me see on H1. On M1, well, pretty difficult because you don't have a break extractor. Okay, and to finish finally, I had another stop loss here. Okay, so as you can see, more or less the same. It took all this liquidity. I don't know if I said it in one video, but I think I said that for me it would take all this liquidity, and it did that, and we took this relevant liquidity on H1 here. As you can see, boom, reaction. Yeah, I think yesterday I said the same. And then we can look for more movement to the upside and look for relevant liquidities. Okay, so for me this is pretty relevant because it took this structure here, and then this break to the downside is created here. Okay, so maybe tomorrow we can look for some sells. I'm not sure, but maybe. Okay, so after this movement to the upside, I thought about a continuation, but here, which it has no sense because there's no relevant liquidity to the left. So after seeing this movement to the upside, and this is a pattern that usually see as reversal, so I traded that and fuck me, it took me out. Without break of structure or anything. So yeah, completely my mistake. And then I was at my job, I saw this here, and I placed the trade only here with my target here. I thought about placing my target here because it was late. So this would have been a good trade, but my main target was here. Probably I would have closed that in live, but well, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so my first target was down here. Probably break even and partials for me is okay. Maybe 90% here and 10% for the rest. And now it's moving to the upside. Okay, it took the previous weekly high. So this is pretty interesting. More liquidity. Okay, so more liquidity, and I think it's pretty clear that we're gonna take that, in my opinion, tomorrow probably, but I'm not sure. But creating all this liquidity, maybe tonight it takes that. Okay, so as you can see, but reaction perfectly. For me, this is an S&T probably. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, all those weeks and everything, I would like to look for a sell at some point. Okay, so well, this was my day. Not the best day, completely my mistakes, but well, I hope you like it and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.